Hello, everyone. We are live. It's CNC. Thanks for coming to chat with me. And we are live here for the Monday meetup, which every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you get some new content. And today, whether it be a live stream or a video premiere, and today we are here with a trip announcement, plus a little bit of chatting related to my time in Portugal. As you all know, I just got back from visiting Portugal, which is country number 40. I snuck in country number 41, which is Denmark. And then I also released a couple of vlogs. I know I set this video up for the wrong date, so people are going to be slow to trickle in here, but it's cool. Thank you all for being here. And also a word of, I guess, warning or caution. There are major storms moving through the DC area at the moment. So if I become, unresponsive or the video blanks out, that just means I'm probably undergoing some storm issues. But so far, the stream seems pretty good. So let's see who is in the chat. And first up, we have, and welcome in 6 people, Kelly. Hey, Kelly, Angel Tony. Welcome in, girl. Thanks for being here. And thanks for being here first. Folks are slowly trickling in. We got Steph Stone. Steph, I hope you are being safe out here in these streets. It is crazy outside. Like, I left work a little late because I got to work a little late. I have not been getting the perfect attendance award since this whole return to office situation. So I got to work late this morning, so I had to stay till 6:15. I'm like, okay, you got this live stream that you got to do. And then just to get outside of work, and like I was just basically running in between lightning flashes trying to get to my vehicle. So y'all who are in the DMV area, be safe. There are flash flood warnings. And definitely still condolences. We got to take weather very seriously, particularly on the heels of the disaster that happened in Texas. And you all are coming in. Welcome in. We got Tracy Gary. Hi, Tracy. Welcome back. I believe your name is not new. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Kelly says the storm was here in Tennessee about 3 or 4 hours. But okay, because a lot of times, Kelly, it's weird because you would think DC would get it first, but like it seems like anytime Georgia gets some weather, and it looks like also maybe then y'all get weather like about 2 or 3 hours later, we get it. And it's weird because it seems like we would be first, or unless they're moving this way. I don't know. But I hope y'all are safe and be safe out here in these storms, y'all. It's just been a lot of weather catastrophes. So I hope everyone is, taking cover, being well, take the weather for serious. Iris Wagstaff is in the building. Hey, Iris, thanks for being here. Welcome in, welcome in. Samuel Dodson is here saying, good evening, C. I see the letters C and B are really close on the keyboard. I got you. I understand your heart. Thanks for being here. This is the Monday meetup where I don't go live every Monday, but every Monday you get some sort of content, whether it be a video premiere or a trip announcement. And usually the week of travel, I make a trip announcement. So there is a trip announcement. I am getting back. I know I just did some land-based stuff. Shout out to y'all who were following my Instagram stories. You got to see that I visited 2 new countries. I got Portugal and Denmark on a land-based vacation, which was interesting. It was a land-based. It was also an all-inclusive involved, which I've never done an all-inclusive outside the Caribbean. So it was a cool experience to kind of experience along all-inclusive resort in Portugal. And of course, whenever I get time, the content is coming. It's interesting balance of being like a content creator who travels, because I am bad at editing on the road. So I have so much content that's in my devices that I need to get out and find the time, but it just seems like the trips are rolling in, and this is the busy season for the trips. And when I say the trips this summer are so good, they're so good. So, but I have to balance making sure I get some content out there for you all to, just check out and see. So thanks for being here, Samuel. Monet to the T is here saying, hey, C, into the chat. Welcome in, Monet. Thanks for being here, girl. Sweet D is in the building saying, hey, C, and on the chat. Happy Monday. It is a good Monday. Today, it flew by. Like, today was the first Monday being back from a trip. So it's always like the inbox of emails is full of stuff. Yeah, it was but at least it made my 10-hour day painless. It definitely, I looked up from my keyboard and I was like, oh shoot, it's 4 o'clock. I only had 2 more hours to go. So yeah, I can't complain. Any Monday above ground is a happy Monday. So thanks for being here, sweet D. Samuel Dawson saying good evening. Good evening. Lala B is here. Welcome in. Welcome in. And y'all, I'm also learning whenever I do quality checks. So usually the day after my live stream, I always rewatch my live stream. And I noticed I use a platform called StreamYard. And I think because of like the filtering of some of the comments, sometimes I'm not looking at YouTube the way you're looking at YouTube. So sometimes StreamYard does not push your comments through. So I'll see comments in the replay that I'm like, dang, I didn't see that comment. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's literally for some reason the software just does not push every comment to the stream of chats that I saw. And welcome at 18 people to the chat this evening. So I just want to put all the disclaimers out there. We got bad weather. Your comment might not show up, but we're going to keep the party going. Charge it to the head and not the heart. Welcome in, Lala B. Thanks for being here. See, and then talking about technologies, going back on the things. Yola D is here. Welcome in, welcome in. Warm Strong, one of the few but mighty solo male cruisers in the game. Thanks for being here, Warm Strong. I love that MSC jacket that you got. I saw that jacket in the store, but I was like, you know what? I couldn't add it to my bill. It was like you get the drink package or you get a jacket. So it looks really good on you. I was like, yeah, I was peeping that one too. So that was a very nice gift that Scott gave you. Welcome in, Will. Thanks for being here. Mark Hackett is in the building saying, what up, C? What up, Mark? Thanks for being here. And Sig, the solo cruiser, is in the building. Welcome in, Sig. And if you all have not heard, Sig, the Jen Danielle Experience, and myself, we are all teaming up for the ultimate solo group cruise, which is June 22nd to 26th, 2026, aboard Celebrity Reflection. And that trip is mounting. It's doing well. I've done what is it called? The draft agenda is ready for y'all. And we should be creating a community soon of everybody who has booked so far. Be on the lookout. We are probably, since we're less than a year out, we're just going to go ahead and kind of create a Facebook group just to get people kind of involved, engaged. So look out for that information. Damien and Quanda are here, and I was watching y'all's replay today, as well as your Jamaica vlog. So thanks for being here, Damien and Quanda. I don't know. I mean, like, I know the Parkers have like the funniest Parker. If we have like the funniest like D&Q experience, I'll have to give it to Quanda. Quanda says things that just like it goes over your head for 3 seconds and it's just hilarious. So thank y'all for being here. Hey, my DC YouTube creator meetup, Piplup James. If you all are interested in like amusement park vlogs. I did not know there is a whole community. Like you all know that I support like Melanin at Sea, which is like a black it's not a black, it's a cruise group for melanated individuals and allies. Well, I learned through Piplup James there's a Melanin Coaster Network, I believe it's called. So if you are interested in roller coasters, amusement parks, follow Piplup James. I like watching his channel because I can't do coasters anymore. Between me and my age and my heart, I can't do it anymore, but I love watching the good coasters on YouTube, especially the ones that I can't do in person. So Piplup James has all that content. So go ahead and follow him. I got to meet him at the YouTube Creator Network. All right, so let's see. I'm just back fresh from Portugal. That was interesting. I went to Afro Nation, which is a music fest celebrating all things like Afro beats on piano, with a little bit of like hip hop and R&B in there. I was shocked to hear. It amazes me how much people appreciate like hip hop music all across the world. And to see, they said over 100 countries were represented during that festival in Portugal. It was in Portimao, Portugal. To see how many people represent, like how many countries are represented, it was awesome. But like Mary J. Blige performed, and y'all know Mary has been cutting up. Like Mary has been showing up to concerts, act like she don't want to be there. Well, she gave us a little energy on this day. So it was cool to experience. They have a lot of activation stateside. So if you aren't able to, and in the Caribbean, so if you aren't able to make it to Afro Nation in Portugal, which was worth the experience just to see so many like African or descendants of Africa, like the cultures kind of clash and collide into just nothing but good vibes and positive experience on a beach with beautiful people. I'm like, everybody who came to Afro Nation was fine, like fine. Afro Nation is a concert or a festival for you. They have activations. I think Doretha told me that they had an activation in Houston. I think there's some things happening in DC. They have an activation in New York. So I just got back from that. But today we have a trip announcement, which, if I'm announcing a trip, it's because I'm heading out. And we're going to get straight into it. So usually the title of the trip announcements have like a little bit of a hint in regards to what I am doing or where am I going. And as you all know, over here on my channel, I'm a big experiences person. Like, I like making sure I have a range of experiences to share with you all. So whenever Carnival rolled out Celebration Key, I was like, okay, what's the first ship? It was going to be a Celebration Key. And at that time, it was Carnival Conquest. So on Friday, I think that's the date, I am hopping on Carnival Conquest. And apparently a lot of you all are hopping on Carnival Conquest too. Now, they snuck in Vista. Vista snuck in before Conquest. I did my due diligence. I did my research. And I was like, hey, Carnival Conquest is going to be the first ship they hit Celebration Key. I think they're anticipating the Conquest is going to hold like, I think 2,800 people-ish. It will be the only ship in the port that day. I was interested to see if another ship will be sharing, but then Vista snuck in right before Conquest, which I know, who is it? Travel Spree is on Vista right now. I was watching, they were live streaming. If you all want some good factual information about like what Carnival is doing related to Celebration Key, as well as just some of the different changes that came out in regards to their status matching, those kind of things. Fane and Laura Travel Spree did a really good stream today, which had John Hild. I'm blanking on their CEO at the moment. I have this thing with being at 41 names, just as neatly as I need a name, the name just slips out of my head. But their CEO and some other person, they were basically doing like a recap of Celebration Key and talking about just the pluses, the things that are going on, and the developments of Carnival in regards to like the loyalty status, which had everybody kind of up in the uproar. So watch that vlog. It's worth it. Not vlog, it's a live stream. It's good, like easy listening in the background if you want just some factual information about what's happening over there with the good girlfriend Carnival. All right, so who else you got here? Sweet D says, hi all in the chat, hit the thumbs up. Yes, please do. Folks are speaking to Damien Quanda. Talk about Quanda is out of pocket always. It's the funny, I think the funny part about it is like Quanda doesn't mean to be. So that's what makes it like even funnier. Who else we got here? Gina's World is back from Carnival Celebration. Welcome back. I got to see your multi-generational trip via Facebook picture. So thanks for popping in. And Kelly says, I wish I could be on Mass 4. And yes, so the reason why I'm not on Melanin at C4.0 is because I have booked this trip already. And from a content standpoint and channel standpoint, and just trying to, again, get all the information out to the people, I was like, I had to be trying to get the first experience there. Because it's also kind of a helpful thing for like, if you're interested in being a content creator of any sort, whether it be like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want to create. If you look, it doesn't always have to be new ships, but it could be like a new experience. So like if a ship is going to, like Carnival ships a lot of times relocate ports. Christine Duffy, there we go. See, I knew it all. And thank you, Yola D. I was like, it pops in my head when I don't need it. And then y'all got my back in the chat. Thank you. Christine Duffy was talking about how much Carnival rotates its ships. So like one of my really good series I'll probably re-release this week is Carnival Magic. I went to go see Carnival Magic when it first relocated to Miami, and that got some couple videos with at least one video that has over 10,000 views. So like that's something that you can kind of, if you're thinking about, if you ever want to be a creator or give people experiences, information, because the things that do best are things that give people information and inform people. Not just highlighting what you do, but like really trying to like give people information. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this Carnival Conquest situation, even though at that time I had not sailed Carnival Conquest. So I was like, one, I was curious about Carnival Conquest because it's known to be Carnival's biggest party ship outside of Liberty, which is coming back online apparently. That's something that Christine Duffy announced today. Carnival Liberty will be popping up again in New Orleans, which it was previously before it went to dry dock. Liberty was in Orlando, I think. And now Carnival Liberty is going to New Orleans, which I think is going to be a cool fit for them. Something different from the Valor. So, but yeah, highlighting unique experiences. So, Missing Max 4.0 because I had already booked Carnival Conquest and it didn't make any sense to like backtrack. I already had a deposit down. So, shout out to everybody who's heading out. 4.0 cruisers leave on the 20th and we arrive to Celebration Key on the 20th. And so yeah, so if y'all are going to MLNC 4.0, safe travels, enjoy it. I can't wait to see what y'all think about Celebration Key. I'm is it tempering? Is that the word? My expectations a bit, even though the people of Freeport have kind of shown that like for it to be an initial, what is it called, view of the island, because a lot of these islands and private it's not an island, Carlene. I'm messing up my own little faux pas. It's not an island, it's a private destination. But a lot of times these private destinations, they require like building up. So there's an initial release. Like we saw it with Disney's, what is it called? Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point, really long name, location. They'll roll it out, but it's not in its full, what is it called? A development. Like it'll be basically a stepping stone to build up. So I guess it's available now for us to view. People of Freeport have been invited, which I think is cool. Something that Christine Duffy kind of launched or released was that there are 1,500 jobs that this destination has activated in Freeport, which if you all have been to Freeport, Hurricane Dorian's damage, and I can't remember what year that was, but whatever damage from Hurricane Dorian is still very visible in Freeport, to the point that it's like, I remember my parents used to hang out in Freeport, and it's not that destination anymore. So I'm excited that like Carnival is activating, I guess, the economy in an island, or not, in an island or a destination. So it'll be kind of cool to see like that aspect, and to see that like I don't think I've ever done a destination where I don't think I've done a private destination where like technically you're in the private destination, but then you also can go out. Oh, Labadee. Labadee would have been it. I'm like, which one have I done? So it's just gonna be interesting to see what the developments of Celebration Key. But yeah, shout out and safe travels to everyone heading out on MLNC 4.0. I don't think I'm making any MLNC this year, but my plan is to be back on MLNC next year. I was watching all the Virgin Voyages content and I was like, I miss my cousins, my cruise cousins. So Janice Rocha, she'll be on Conquest in November to experience Celebration Key. Awesome. And hopefully like in November it will be more, developed, or they will learn from whatever us crash test dummies that are headed there this weekend. I was been watching Fane and Laura's content from Travel Spree to try to get ready for this trip. And I noticed that, they left like a note in their stateroom bed that says, please, just give us some grace in regards to like the development of the destination, and there are going to be some kinks and those kind of things. But hopefully in November when you go, they'll get some of those kinks rolled out. There'll possibly be more items. One thing that I do like about Celebration Key though is because it's still Freeport, they were tripping about some of the prices in relation to like the items on the private island or private destination. Like they had the noodle. Well, the pool noodle, the $19.99 pool noodle that went down to like $10.99 is gone. They replaced it with a floaty, which, still can be debated, but it seems like they're listening to y'all dragging them a little bit. But I'm planning on going back. My family cruise next year. We have a stop in Celebration Key. So it'll be interesting to compare Celebration Key now to Celebration Key late 2026. And then Gina, to hear and see in your stories, like, what it looks like in a few months. Thank you, Yellow D, for the name. Christine Duffy, Old Lady Problems. Gina also says, I wish I was on 4.02. Yeah. And I also I don't like repeating ships. So, oh my word, I don't like repeating ships. So, while Carnival, I've been on Carnival, Celebration, Jubilee, and Mardi Gras. Celebration is just not my favorite of the three. I think I like Jubilee because I feel like they got it all together. Jubilee, Mardi Gras, because I think it was like the initial entrance into what is it called? The Excel class. And then Celebration was just interesting. Yeah, I was I was at that time I had not did Carnival Conquest. I was like, let me hop on this one. But now that I've done Carnival Conquest, which hopefully I can get that content out before I head down there to Celebration Key, I now can kind of relax in relation to by being on the ship, but then go full throttle whenever we finally get to Celebration Key. And Gina's World says, thank you, Gina's World. We love an investment. Gina's World says, since the drink package does not work on Celebration Key, no, it doesn't. And it doesn't sound like they're going to change it at all. Enjoy a cocktail on me. Thank you, Gina's World. I will. And I'll make sure I highlight which cocktail it is in my video. So stay tuned whenever I produce my Celebration Key content. I like to make sure I put those shout outs same thing I did in MSC World America. But yeah, that drink package, and I kind of get why. So again, now I don't get why the drink package doesn't work on Half Moon Cay, because I assume Half Moon Cay is that like an actual, is Half Moon Cay an actual island? But I guess it's kind of like how states have liquor laws in regards to if you come to Maryland, if you come to DC, you got Maryland, DC, and Virginia, right? You can get to each one in 20 minutes. Just how each one has their own liquor laws, I would imagine that Freeport or Bahamas has its own liquor laws about how the cruise ships can sail. And we want, our cousins down in the Bahamas to get their cut of the tourism industry, right? We don't want these cruise ships to just come and milk them for their wonderful, beautiful islands and then skedaddle. So I get it. I just wish that Carnival had marketed the why. I think Carnival, and I've been noticing lately in my email box, Carnival has been very communicative. I've been getting emails related to hey, just a FYI, the Rock and Glow night is happening, and text message hey, don't forget to check in. Now I need Carnival. Thank you. That's helpful. But again, getting ahead of some of these shenanigans of people kind of taking information and running with it, explain to the people why you can't have a drink package or why they can't allow the drink package on Celebration Key. Which I think is because Celebration Key is literally 20 miles of east of Freeport. So it's literally like the country. But I don't know why they don't do it on Half Moon Cay. Now that one I have a question about. But I wish Carnival would give more of the why, get ahead of the why versus hey guys, we can't just do this. And what happens is people create interesting reasons for why the things happen. Damian Kwan says, I guess we got to give Carnival another try. Listen, we are not forcing you as our Royal Caribbean ambassadors. We are not forcing you all to get on Carnival. We are not forcing y'all at all. Because I know how y'all feel. I know how y'all feel about Royal. So, if y'all love it so much, don't come over to Carnival. Leave my girl alone. Mo Taylor says, I'm going solo for the first time this September. Any advice is good? Oh, thanks for the question. So yes, okay, solo cruise. Or is it solo cruise or solo to flight, flying in land base? And welcome in 35 people. My name is Carlene. This is my channel, See It With C. And I'm dropping a trip announcement as well as talking about some of my recent travels and content. I just announced that I'll be heading to Carnival Celebration Key, the much talked about Celebration Key. I initially was the first ship when Carnival Conquest was scheduled to go there, and then Vista slipped right in. So it looks like they are full steam ahead to Celebration Key, but I guess we'll be the second ship, probably be the second ship heading there. Let me see what you said. I don't see it. But if it's a first time for solo cruising, I would say start by, which I almost messed up today with, checking in. So even if you can't fully check in with all your stuff, like I am notorious for 3:00 in the morning being on my phone, and I'll just check in for my cruise. But of course, I don't have like my passport number like right there. I don't have the credit card that I want to use, to make my onboard account. But what you can do is you can just grab your boarding time. You can grab your boarding time, get in, get out. So at least that is locked in. And that way you kind of have the run of the ship. You can get on board and quickly make any last minute plans, such as, maybe you don't want to be at the table that has the variety of solo guests, because a lot of times cruise lines will seat solo travelers together. If you rather just I run a table to myself, getting that early boarding time allows you to run on board, ask the maitre d', hey, can I get a solo table? What else? It also allows you to get on board and make any of those enhancements, spa services, prime times, or specialty dining prime times. If you are a solo traveler who is looking forward to connecting with other solo travelers, because I know some people want to get on the ship and just be alone. But if you're interested in connecting with other folks, most cruise lines have meetups, and I particularly advise you to go to that meetup on the first day. The first day is when everybody's kind of on board. It's kind of like freshman year of college, right? Everybody's on board, interested in meeting everybody. They haven't gotten to their, niches on the ship just yet. So if you can go to that first solo meetup, if they have one, definitely do, because it's going to be probably the biggest time to meet. And if you have Wi-Fi, encourage, solo folks to be like, hey, let's create a WhatsApp group or a Facebook Messenger group. I also, if you like connecting with people, highly recommend that you find the Facebook group for your sailing. One thing that has evolved, I've been noticing with Facebook groups, is now they don't just have the groups, but they've been setting up private chats. And when I say private chats, they've been setting up private chats for everybody. I've seen the solo chat. I've seen the swinger chat. I've seen, hey, I'm going to be parent with kids. Or, I've been noticing now that the chat's been creating little sub chats outside of the main Facebook group, if that makes sense. So if you want to connect with people, try to get into whatever, is your groove, in the little side chats there. Trying to think what else do I have in regards to advice. Let me know which ship, which cruise line. Are you going land-based? Because I kind of answered your question from a cruiser perspective. But let me know which ship, and I can give you a little better information, because each cruise line I learned has a different solo experience. Some cruise line, and I will say each different type of cruise has a different solo experience. So, sometimes the shorter cruises might have 30, 40 solo people, the last time I did a Virgin Voyage is 4-day. Probably the only time I did a Virgin Voyage is 4-day cruise. That solo meetup had 40 people and that group chat probably still keeps going to this day. And that's been almost a couple of years ago. Whereas maybe your longer sailings, like your 10, 12 days, you're not going to have too many people who are untethered. So you might only have 3 or 4 people who show up to those meetups. So let me know, where are you heading solo in September? And congratulations for venturing out on your own for the first time. Gina's World says an explanation about the drink package would be nice. It doesn't make sense. Yes. And again, that's how I feel like a nerd right now. How we have creation stories and myths and rumors and gossip is because, people, when they don't know something, they're going to try to make sense out of it. Right. And I just feel like, again, I've said it before, I've heard other people say it. I read kudos to Rich and Jazz. They were on USA Today. And I think Rich's comment hit the nail on the head when he was just like, Carnival should have got out in front of a lot of this information, because it became misinformation. And it evolved. Like even the theme nights, I was like, y'all, the theme nights on a Carnival cruise weren't new. It was just newly advertised. Here's an example. When I got on Carnival Valor, was that I can't remember how long ago. Carnival Valor. I got on Carnival Valor out of New Orleans. I was there for a Florida State football game. We beat LSU. Yes, we did. And then I was like, okay, I got to maximize this plane ticket. So I was like, let me just hop on a quick cruise out of New Orleans. And Carnival Valor was right there for the day I needed and at the price point that I needed it to be. So I hopped on that. They did theme nights every night. Like they had but the way it's set up though, and I'll have to see, and I'm not going to just be like, all on Carnival side on this. I'm going to have to see it for myself. But how they did the theme nights on Valor was for the first hour, they played the theme. So it was like one night was, because I was like, ooh, this is a dope one. It was like blues. It was like brown liquor music. I don't know how to explain it. But they played that for an hour. And then the DJ after that hour opened it up to whatever the crowd, kind of the vibe of the crowd. So it has been done on some ships. It was again like Carnival kind of made it seem like, or I don't know, the internet took it and ran with it, or Carnival didn't do their due diligence with getting ahead of it. But it made it seem like Royal does what is it called? Theme hours, where again, it might be 80s, it might be rock, it might be country, and then again it evolves to whatever the theme is for the evening, or whatever the crowd's vibe is for the evening. Basically who's out on the dance floor getting the party started, that's what they do. But yeah, I want to know, why doesn't the drink package work? And if it is to benefit the people of whatever the destination is, or it's abiding by their rules, I'm totally with it. If it's like we just want to add more money to your experience, then that sucks. Hey, Mickey's Adventure, welcome in. She said happy Monday, and welcome in 41 people. You can hit that thumbs up. My name is Carlene. This is my channel, C with C, and every Monday you get content, whether it be a live stream or a video premiere. And today I am live streaming with a trip announcement. So let's see. Kelly says, Damien Aquanda says, listen, we go where it's cheap and free. Yes. And you know what, Damien Aquanda, my theme for next year, because I'm like, right now I have at least 2 free cruises, like just sitting, like I have a free cruise from Margaritaville at Sea due to my work. And I have a free cruise on Princess because I am a travel advisor. So if you need help with planning your vacations, I do cruises and land-based, but I've completed the Princess cruise line training. I have that free cruise, and my crazy butt keeps paying for these cruises when I have 2 free cruises sitting in my stash. So I'm with y'all when you say cheap and free for sure. And you can get some good ships for cheap and free, let me tell you. So I totally get it. So 2026, I think I am going to be more mindful of, utilizing some of the perks that I have. And seeing what's already out there versus like, biggest, baddest, largest, because sometimes those comes with premium price tags. And for the amount of travel that I do, I need a little savings in my cruise life every now and then. Kelly says, I have never cruised Carnival, so it isn't one of my top cruise lines, but she wants to try it. I want to try it right now. And I think, Kelly, you would have a good time on a Carnival. Honestly, Kelly, you would have a time on any of Carnival ships, I think, because it's a vibe and you like to hang out late, you like good music, so I think you would have a good time. But if you want a foolproof experience on Carnival Cruise Line, I would go with what most people say, and that's go with the bigger ships. And then after you go with the bigger ships, like, of course, Excel class ships, something that Christine Duffy was talking about today was, oh my gosh, y'all, watch Travel Sprees. Watch that live stream that she did with John Hill and Chris. She was dropping some new stuff. So Carnival has this. Now, granted, it's going to look just like the top of Star of the Seas and Icon, but Carnival is enhancing its water park And I feel she said something about family raft ride. I don't know if that meant the elusive lazy river that a lot of us have been asking for. Shout out to Jazz. Or if it is just like the, you know, kind of the raft ride that goes around the ship. But there, I can't remember what they call it, Sensation Point. I should have took notes. Carnival is basically for the, is it going to be on Festival? I believe it's going to be on Festival, which will be, or is it going to be on the new A-class ships? I can't remember. But watch Travel Spree's live stream today. They are basically unleashing the whole, you know, of course, Royal did it first with the big old, you know, slide water park on the ship. But something that was new to me, I don't know if Royal is doing too. They're going to activate the slides at certain points at night, so it'll be like nighttime at a theme park. So I thought that was dope. So yeah, I would say, like, you know, try Carnival's bigger ships, and then when you get into the world of Carnival, you'll learn the ships have different personalities. So let's see. Of course, you know, everybody knows Conquest. I love to call her Connie. Somebody's called her Conquisha. Known to be Carnival's party ship. It will have, I will say, the most epic sailaway I've seen. Who else? Horizon has been known, not really as a party ship, but Horizon been known to have like a really good vibe on it. So I would say if you were starting with Carnival and you want to, like, you know, I'm scared to end up possibly on, you know, the former, you know, the ship formerly known as the Poop Cruise, but I want to, you know, dip my toe in, start on a bigger ship and then get into the whole world of like the Carnival ship personalities. Like Liberty, I was introduced to Carnival Liberty as Carnival Lit Birdie. So when Christine announced today that Liberty after dry dock was heading to New Orleans, I was like, ooh, I kind of want to get on that one, because I'm like, for that ship to go to New Orleans is going to be a really good fit, because of the reputation that it had in Orlando. So just, you know, those kind of little tips for tinkering around in the world of Carnival whenever you go. So make sure you maximize your time. Kelly, speaking of Mickey says, match the number of participants in the chat to show your support with a thumbs up. Yes, please do. Travel Cake Trips is here saying hello to me and everyone in the chat. Kelly says, I love how Virgin Voyages saves information to check in. Oh, tell me more what you mean about that. Are you talking about what do you mean? Let me explain that more, Kelly, about Virgin Voyages check-in information. Because I'll be back on Virgin in August 29th on Valiant Lady for the Good Gulf Getaway, which is my first group cruise. Got some folks who will be joining me with that. Looking forward to that getting off the ground. But I can't remember. I'm trying to remember the last time I've been on Virgin. I think it was the 4-day. No, I lied. I do remember last time I was on Virgin. It was the Resilient Lady. Was that called a preview? It was a Resilient Lady. 2 days with Sam Felt. Was that Resilient? I can't remember, y'all. But it's been a while. I think last November was the last time I've been on Virgin Voyages. Yep, last November 2024. So I'm a little rusty with my Virgin knowledge. I like to mix it up over here. Folks, speaking of Kelly, Mo Taylor says, oh, Mo is fancy. He's going on Royal Caribbean Symphony Seas Crown Loft Suite. Well, go on with your bad self, Mo. So tips for Royal Caribbean as a solo. I will say, and this is my experience, to change any moment that I don't experience this anymore. My experience on Royal is I have not ever connected with a lot of solo cruisers on Royal Caribbean like I do on, I've had really great solo experiences on Virgin Voyages, really great experience, believe it or not, on Regent Seven Seas. I've had a good experience on Carnival just because I feel like, you know, the folks are pretty chatty. But I have not had a strong solo cruiser experience on Symphony of Seas. I mean, not Symphony of Seas, on Royal Caribbean. I love Royal for their big, beautiful, wonderful, like, ship spaces. I am a ship space kind of girl. But it doesn't have like that solo program that I've encountered where you meet like 4 or 5 people and you kind of like make connections. Royal Caribbean a lot of times are my quietest cruises, particularly when I'm going solo. But Symphony of the Seas is a wonderful ship. Is that Bayonne? I have a goal that I want to get on Symphony of the Seas. I was booked for all of the big ships at one point, and then I won that free cruise on Regent, and that took all my PTO. But I mean, the Crown Loft Suite is dope, brother. Like, you're gonna have a good time. And if she's going out of Bayonne, where are you going? Probably Orlando, and then on to Perfect Day. So maybe, I mean, when's the last time I've been on Royal? No, look, now I'm trying to think about, it was not Mariner. Independence of the Seas was the last time I was on Royal. And I was not a solo cruiser. So I didn't get to experience like this. Oh, no, I take that back. I didn't get to experience a solo experience on Independence, but I met a guy who experienced it. And it seemed like people connected. Actually, and I ended up in a wine bar at one point during the solo meetup. So it seems like some people made their connections on a 4-day over the weekend. But I know my longer sailings, like my 7-day on Oasis, didn't get to meet a ton of people. But maybe that's different. I will be back on Royal soon though. So we shall see. But yeah, my tips for Royal would be definitely join the Facebook group. Depending on who's running the Facebook groups, Royal is a solo cruiser. Depending on who's running the Facebook groups, they might create like little subset groups. Somebody usually asks a question, who's sailing solo? That's the opportunity to meet people. And then Royal gives you opportunity to select a table for 2 if you want to just, dine by yourself and not be, in the presence of others. Or I'm trying to think, I don't know if they seat you automatically with other solo travelers. And then again, the last time I sailed on Independence of the Seas, it looked like Royal had some solo meetups. So, hit those up if you want to connect with folks. But I usually just kind of enjoy the spaces on Royal. So I'm like in the wine bar. I love to find the nooks and crannies that are the atrium, the solarium, those kind of things. But have not really made deep connections like I've had on some other cruise lines. But, again, I cruise for different experiences based on my mood and what I want out of life for that moment. Black Broadway lady, love that name, says, I'm taking my first Carnival Venezia cruise next Monday. My first time with Carnival. It'll be a 9-day cruise. Any advice? Sure. So I will say I have sailed Venezia out of New York. Is she still out of New York? I will say your 9-day sailings, be prepared for, what is that next month? It might be some people on there because we are still in the summer months, but usually your longer cruises, there are going to be fewer people on board. But I will also say that having a longer time on board often gives you opportunity to really bond with, if you want to meet people, because you also can just go hide in a nook on the ship and have the time of your life on Venezia. But yeah, definitely, again, get in that Facebook group. What else? There were some spaces I loved about Venezia. So above the Lido deck, there are some covered spaces and really plush lounge chairs. Go there if you want to like relax, read a book, those kind of things. I can't remember the name of the bar. There was whatever bar replaced Alchemy. It's like towards the middle of the ship, right next door to what is it called? Asian restaurant. I can't remember the name of that one. That bar is kind of, because its location had a lot of people kind of flowing in and out throughout the evening. So if you want to, and the Atrium Bar. The Atrium Bar is another good spot to connect with people. Or if you don't even want to connect with people, but you just want to be like around folks, so you don't feel like totally, left off. That would be, I guess, my what is it called? Tips for connecting with people. If you want to just be off by yourself, I can't remember the name of the area, but I had a Terrazza Carnival area when I was on Venezia, and that Terrazza Carnival was empty most days. Like, I don't usually get in the hot tub a lot, and on Venezia, I was able to get in the hot tub. I bid up, so I did an upgrade. It was minimal too, maybe like $45 upgrade to get into the Terrazza Carnival area. And during the daytime, because they strictly enforced the wristbands, that area was clutch. And what else? You didn't have to, it had its own breakfast area. So it had a small breakfast buffet for Terrazza Carnival people. So you didn't have to fight people in the, what's it called? In the buffet. So let me know what kind of cruiser you are. I could probably give you a better rundown of the Venezia. But I would say with it being a 9-day, it's probably going to be not like super packed, not super crazy. But a lot of times with those cruises, it's people, you know, who have retired or widowers, those kind of like people who are just like looking to make connections, and they're cool people to hang out with. Piplup is saying hello. Gina says, James Ross says, on my selling, they did have theme nights as usual, but hip hop, line dancing, etc. was played. There's a lot of misinformation. And people are playing into the misinformation like left and right. I'm not gonna say no more about that, but I think again, the best way to get ahead of misinformation, Carnival, is to control your own narrative and get ahead of it. And it was kind of weird that no one like heard the rollout and had the mentality or perspective of how are the people hearing this? How are they going to, you know, react to it? And I will also say, sorry, I was writing the Mac when I said that. In the age of AI, because I heard like one of those flyers that was like making its way around the internet. And I literally had 2 friends who don't cruise at all. Three friends who don't cruise at all send me that little AI made flyer and say, like, is this true? And like, and I was just like, no, that was generated by AI. Like, it's not true. So I hope the lesson learned for Carnival is like, can you protect the stress levels of your consumers and have people on board on your team who are thinking, how will my consumers receive this information? So that they can combat misinformation. Because it was just, I mean, folks, they let it run for what was that, 2-3 weeks of people just making up stuff. And then now they're like playing damage control and backtracking. Like we see all of a sudden everybody's retweeting the cruise director saying, you know, hey, don't forget to bring your fans on the Lido deck. Those kind of things. And it's just like it didn't have to get here. It didn't have to be this way, but it is. I think what will combat it is, though, you know, folks just getting on the ship and just showing what the actual experience is. And that's my plan on Friday for you all. I'll be going live from the ship. So from Carnival Conquest, just showing you all, you know, what it's like. Is it true? Is it not true? What parts are true? Is the island done? Is the island not done? What aspects of the island are done? And not trying to sensationalize anything, but just give you all the information, because I know folks want to make an informed decision. And sometimes, like, you know, people are to the point now they want to like cancel. It's like, do you lose that deposit, or like, are you gonna let misinformation, you know, run you out of money? So hopefully just trying to provide this weekend, July 18th, I'll be on Carnival Conquest to provide a bit of a balanced perspective. If there's anything that I notice, I will say Carnival is probably the line that I've cruised on the most. I've been on most popular lines, minus hopefully get on Princess soon. I don't know when I'm getting on Holland America, but I've cruised a good amount of lines, so hopefully I can, you know, provide that perspective at some point this weekend. Piplup says, time for me to get back on a cruise. It's been since 2005. On a cruise to nowhere. Wow. Yeah. And they technically don't have cruise to nowheres, but they pop up every now and then. So what they call it is like, there's a couple of cruises. One I've been on when I got on Virgin Voyages. Was it Brazilian lady that did the 2-day cruise? It was a cruise to nowhere, and I thought that they didn't do anymore. And what they call it is a technical stop. And what they do is they get in the range of the island enough, I guess they can maybe call it a practice run. I don't know. I'm about to give misinformation. But I think they get in the range of the island and they call it a technical stop. And I think they just basically practice some maneuvers, and that gets them like the okay to break the Jones Act, which is the act that you have to, whenever you leave the United States, you have to make a stop in one spot outside of the US. So Yeah. But yeah, they don't have the cruises to nowhere, just like for, you know, so yeah, we got to get you back on a ship so you can go somewhere on a cruise ship. But you'll be out there though. I've been seeing all of your content related to your coasters and some of your train stuff. So keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Mel on the Move is here saying, "Hey, C. Hey, Mel on the Move. Welcome in." Sig says, "I haven't booked my free Princess Cruise either." See, Sig, we need not book anything else that has a fee until we book our free Princess Cruise. G Fox is here. G, welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. MH Family Adventures is here saying hello to everyone in the chat. Mickey says, haven't booked her free Princess Cruise either. Book those free Princess Cruises before. We're going to make a pact. Book your free Princess Cruise before you book anything else. Only thing about the free Princess Cruise for the people who finish their travel agent training is some of them cruises be long. I was tossing up between my free Princess Cruise, and I was gonna do they were in Alaska, so I wanted to kind of do the Princess experience in Alaska since they're always doing number 1 and number 2 between them and Holland for Alaska. But I ended up going with the Disney fantasy out of Rome. But I definitely would have saved some money if I would have just went ahead and went to Alaska. But I was kind of like, I didn't want to be in cold weather for my birthday. Travel Cake Trips is here saying hello to MH Family Adventures. Seth says the thing that makes me want to try Carnival is the roller coaster and any other types of rides they have on their ship. Oh, cool. And funny, I have not did Bolt yet. I've been on all 3 Excel class ships and I have not rode Bolt just yet. So I've been told I have to do it. But if you like coasters and rides, you need to hook up with or get in touch with Piplup James, because he does like coaster content with Kings Dominion, William, what is it called? Busch Gardens, all of that. And some like travels for coasters. So y'all would be cool to like make it just a connection, a YouTube connection for sure. Damian Quana says, oh, so there is nighttime currently on Icon up to, they were making it sound like it was something special. Good to know that the Icon slides are open up to a certain time. Yeah, they made it like I guess you got to hype your stuff up. They made it sound like it was like a nighttime activation. But I guess possibly it is something new for them and not necessarily new for Royal. I would say I'll give Royal its due in relation to like being leaders of innovation for sure. Piplup James says my ship in 05 ended up as the poop cruise in 2013. Oh no, so you were on Carnival Triumph, right? Yeah, you're on Carnival Triumph, which is now Sunrise. And somebody I just is it How We Cruise? Is that their name? They have a group cruise. They're right now on Carnival Sunrise. I feel like if I had played my cards right, I should have, instead of booked Conquest, I should have booked Sunrise. I was debating, but yeah. Anywho, I ended up going Conquest as the second. But I don't like to repeat ships, so I wish I would have been able to get on Sunrise just to have a different experience. But I don't know when Sunrise gets a celebration key. I know Glory is going at some point. Benicia Barner, hey, that seems like a new name. She says, I would really love to go on an all-inclusive cruise. Which line do you recommend? Oh my, okay. So I might need the chat to help me out. So far, for all-inclusive cruises, you're going to go with more of your premium lines of cruising, or was your luxury lines of cruising. So you want to go with like the all-inclusive cruise that I did was Regent. Now, granted, it's a heavy price point, but I would say like my lowest. It was my lowest balance I ever had getting off the ship. 10-day cruise, I got the ship with $163 balance, and that was because I needed a transportation back to the airport. But usually it's gonna be your luxury lines that are gonna give you the all-inclusive experience. Or sometimes if you don't go like luxury, your cruise lines like who is it? Like for instance, I booked a cruise on Celebrity. In the package that I booked, There was free Wi-Fi and free drinks included. Norwegian has a concept where, and usually they push out the prices for their like all-inclusive experience where there's drinks, a little bit of Wi-Fi. It's not like a ton, probably a certain amount of minutes or a percentage of data a day. And then like they might have one excursion included. So it's kind of like depends on how all inclusive do you want. When I was on Regent, basically they had a large list of, and Sig, help me out. I've been watching Explorer content, but all the content's rolling into one. Is Explorer an all inclusive? Sig, remind me, please. I know the food is great, but I can't remember does Explorer have the what is it called? If Explorer has the excursions and that kind of things included. But so you have again two options. You can either do like a Regent, a Silver Sea, or like go full luxury, or if you're like, hey, luxury will, break the bank, or not even break the bank, but just will not allow you to have as many cruise experiences as you want in a year, then you can go with one of your standard cruise lines and see like what packages they have to make it feel all inclusive. And again, like Norwegian will give you like 2 free dining experiences, a little bit of Wi-Fi, a percentage off of its excursions. I have not encountered any packages on Carnival like that. I have not encountered anything on Royal. Virgin gives you what is it called? It'll have everything except for no, they were playing around with all-inclusive pricing for a bit with Virgin, but you still have to pay a bar tab. But they basically have all of your, you have drinks, some Wi-Fi, and I'm missing something. Specialty dining included on Virgin. So yeah, it all depends on like what your budget is. Not just what your budget is for one trip, but like how much you want to spend for the year, because you don't want one trip to just offset you for like the rest of the year. You're like, crap, I can't go nowhere else. But feel free to hit me up, Venetia Barner. Feel free to hit me up, cwc@gmail.com. I am a travel advisor, happy to like give you more kind of catered tips in relation to like what experience you're looking for. Yeah, but thanks for that question for sure. So yeah, in summary, there are your luxury lines that have everything truly included. You're going to pay a pretty price point, but sometimes it shakes out. I know I'm like getting on a tangent, but like Regent, I didn't pay for that one, but it like shook out in the grand scheme of things because, and who else? You have Viking, who's kind of, aren't they all inclusive river? Sometimes they include like flights and stuff. Sometimes it shakes out in regards to like what you pay. It might seem like a bigger inflated price, but you're going to end up like, if you were to pay it all separate, you would have paid the same thing, if that makes sense. Kelly says, I didn't have to add credit card information, travel documents, nor emergency contact. So when you log into, when you check in for Virgin, I thought you had to add. Okay. I thought, because I'm like, I remember like Virgin has that 7-panel window where you say like, are you pregnant? Here's your credit card. Do you follow the rules? Here's your passport information. But are you saying they roll it all into the app so that it'll just be there for check-in? And you pick a time whenever you're going through all those screens. Who else? Oh, yes. Lala B. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. So I need to download the new app before I go in August. Thank you, Lala B and Kelly, because I was just like, I remember Virgin. I just checked in. Did I check in? I think I checked in for my August cruise, and I had to do all the 7 questions. But I think I was using the old app, so I need to uninstall and reinstall. Thank y'all for the reminder. Appreciate you. Fox's Den says, I'm so excited for your first group cruise. Sorry, I will miss it. I know, because I picked school time. I promise I would do some sort of event, cruise, something, meet up on a non-educator schedule, or a schedule that does not conflict with educators. I know you'll have a time sending mail up. Thank you, G. Always appreciate the love and positive vibes you send. It's much needed. Appreciate it. Thank you. And apparently, like my group cruise is like 3 other group cruises on board that same cruise. And it was interesting with Virgin Voyage's pricing, because I will say the price that I booked my cruise almost 2 years ago when I first booked that group cruise, or booked my cabin, pretty much stayed the same. So I will say, if you pick the right sailing for Virgin, it kind of gives you like steady pricing. Now I will say they aren't offering as much onboard credit now as they were when I first booked it, but it's kind of good to know Virgin. I won't say all sailings, but it was about a year and a half, and for my sailing, the prices kind of held pretty nicely without too much spikes. It spiked a little bit at one point. I was quoting people like $2,500, but now it's like, I think I was quoting people for like $2,100. And then even when I was price matching, what is it called? Is it price matching? Yes, price matching, making sure that my clients had like the lowest price. Like they might have had a $75 savings, but they were going to lose all of their onboard credit. So it didn't make sense to make the price adjustment for them. So I would say Virgin, if you want the most sailor loot, book further out. But I will say Virgin, I know like a lot of like last minute cruise deals don't exist anymore. It seems like I kind of will keep Virgin as the, like, if you want a last minute deal, because I feel like their prices haven't changed a ton. But I'm scared to say it because I'm like, I'll say it and then somebody be like, yeah, that trip spiked 5 times. So yeah, I would say if you want like a last minute deal, check out Virgin. I even had a client, this year, who she booked a cruise 2 weeks out and they got $400 on board credit. Now, granted, she had to book it that very day because the sale was going away the next day. And when the next day came, the cabins had sold out and there was no onboard credit. But I will say, if you want like a last minute cruise, possibly, don't mark my word too much on this. Try it for yourself. There we go. Try it for yourself. But last minute cruise deal, look at Virgin. Now, the other lines, no. I can't help you. But I have noticed Virgin seems to be a little more amenable for like that last minute. I want to hurry up and go somewhere. And welcome in 48 people. This is Carlene. This is my channel, See It With C. And thanks for coming to chat with me. This is Monday Meetup. And I'm live today because I have a trip announcement, and that is I'm heading out to SAIL-abration Key this weekend. And I know there's a bunch of people that will be on this sailing. So if you happen to be on this sailing, your team replay, make sure you say hello. I think I'm not changing my hair, so I'm look like this. And then I anticipate wearing like a Melanin Sea shirt on the first sea day, which is Saturday, because it's a bunch of Melanin Sea folks who'll be on that sailing. So I want to make sure I can get to see my cruise cousins. Mo is going out of Cape Liberty, New Jersey. Yep. So that means you're stopping in Port Canaveral and then onwards to Nassau on Perfect Day. Also, Mo, see what other ships are in port at Perfect Day, because that also determines how vibey Perfect Day at Coco Cay might be. And if you got a couple of ships in port, definitely head on over to Hideaway. Hopefully the price is still within range. Thank you, Kelly. Says congratulations on the first group cruise. And if you weren't able to make the first group cruise, is a good segue. Let me see. Let's see if I can share it. All right. So the ship has sailed on the Good Government Getaway. I am no longer taking bookings unless you pull my arm, and then I might consider it. But I want to make sure I get all the details really tight for the people who are coming with me. But stay tuned for 2026. But the next cruise after the Good Gov Getaway will be, and I'm trying to only do like 1 or 2 cruises a year. I don't want to inundate with oversaturate the market. But June 22nd to 26th, I'm really excited about this one. And y'all have been booking it, and I can't wait to share just the plans and for the group to start talking. And knock Sig, Sig has the duty of creating a Facebook group. So if you haven't seen that, blame Sig solo cruiser, it's her fault. But these June 22nd to 26th, I'm teaming up with Jajin Danielle Experience and Sig the Solo Cruiser for the ultimate solo getaway. So if you are a solo traveler, solo cruiser, a person who is partnered, but you're like, hey, I appreciate my me time, or come together and appreciate your me time, this one is for you. and we have curated, like, I'm not using that term loosely. We have curated something for everyone. If you have followed either any of these 3 channels, me, Sig, or Jen, you know we all have our distinct vibe. And all of our activities are going to be catered to, you know, what you see on our channels in regards to those vibes. So if you want the relaxation, if you want the adventure, if you want the little bit of glam and luxe, or a cocktail, we got it for you. So you can hit us up. The prices there you see are old. I will say Celebrity Reflection does change in price, but deposits are $100 per person, and final payment is sometime in April 2026. And since I'm no longer taking bookings for the Good Gov Getaway 2025, 2026, if you want to get on the wait list, we are doing land-based, and we're doing a meetup for Epcot Food and Wine Festival, eating and drinking around the world, October 9th through 11th, 2026. You can scan that QR code to get on the wait list. I have been seeing your emails. If you are waitlisted, I will be reaching out to you after the 2025 Good Gov Getaway. I don't want to balance too much at once. So as soon as I wrap that trip up and recover, we'll be giving more details for the Good Gov Getaway 2026. And that one is more of a meetup. I know we have a lot of individuals who prefer to book themselves. But we're going to meet up in Orlando and eat and drink around the world. And I think that is it for now. All right. So let's get back into the chat. And I think I want to get into these last few comments if there are no more questions. Who else we got here? Thank y'all. Folks speaking of G. Come on and sell September 7th. I wish, but I will be wrapping up. I have a lot of PTO, but I don't have that much PTO. So I get off Virgin Voyages on September 3rd for my group cruise. So I can't even swing the following week. And that's the end of the fiscal year. So I gotta be in place for any last minute rushing and shenanigans that come with getting people's money out the door. Who else we got? Chandra Oglesby with the word. She says, unfortunately, and this is my point. This is one of my points. Like I said, the 3 people who sent me the carnival, the thing about like carnival's racist and this and this and this, it were people who don't cruise and just basically looking for me to like have a reaction to it. And I just like, I'll be on a cruise in a week or so, and I'm gonna find out for myself. That's why our lesson in life from this, everyone, is control your narrative, okay? Because let Carnival be the case study of what happens when you try to ignore the buzzing and the rumors. People just basically create more and more. Now, I will also say there's people who don't even know this stuff exists, and they got their cruises booked, and they're just like my mama don't know anything about a theme night. She don't know nothing about a status. She just knows she's gonna be on a ship in September for her retirement celebration. So I guess we also are kind of hyper focused on this stuff because our world is cruising. But there are people who probably don't even know that, like, okay, starting June 1, I believe was the date, 2026, like your status might disappear, or so yeah. Melon Moon says, I'm on that selling, hope to see you. Which selling? The July 18th Carnival Conquest? If so, yes, I will see you on board. And I'm hoping like some of them, it's like almost at least 5 people from Melon at Sea that I know that are going to be on that sailing. So I'm hoping we can do like a meetup or some sort on the sea day just to like hang out, put some of these YouTube faces to name. Hey, Leslie, welcome in, saying hello. Black Broadway Lady says, I'm seeing a lot of negative Carnival videos featuring really ratchet behavior. I hope that's not my experience. And again, the ratchetness of behavior, like, well, it depends like what you consider ratchet. It really it depends on what you consider ratchet. But like the most ratchety good time that I had was on Virgin Voyages, Dominican Days, 5-day, where there was a twerk off between sides on a pool during the first sea day. And like, I have that vlog. If you want to see that vlog, go. It's one of my Virgin voyages. Was it Valiant Lady? I think. I can't remember what year that was. Find one of my Virgin voyages, Valiant Lady. I had to blur out a lot. And if you are a channel member, ooh, my face is all on this microphone. If you are a channel member, I gave you the uncut. Like in my head, I was filming and I produced that video and I was like, somebody might lose their job. Or like they might like see their like, yeah. I had to blur a lot of stuff out, like to the point I had a black and white and put the blur pixelated over top of it. If you're a channel member, you get the uncut version of like, I would consider that my most ratchet cruise. The thing that worries me though, like I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I need y'all to tease out like this whole y'all worry me about this. There seems to be some convolutedness. No, that's not the word. Black and ghetto are two different things. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta say the thing. Like I don't get, and it worries me, particularly when it comes from other Black people. When folks kind of see a bunch of Black folks, and all of a sudden something becomes ghetto. Like the last time I encountered that was at Florida State, where there was a bar that a lot of FAMU students go to, and a Florida State one of my classmates from Florida State was like, "Oh yeah, it's ghetto on that night." And I'm like, is it ghetto or is that just where the Black students congregate? And I see the same thing whenever I hear the narrative of Carnival. I had to tease that out a little bit because I'm like, why does this issue irk me so much? And I think it's because sometimes people see a lot of Black people and all of a sudden it gets labeled ghetto, ratchet, and all these negative stereotypes. And that same energy isn't directed towards lines that don't have as many people of color on them. And I think I particularly get a little worried about that when I see Black folks perpetuating, keeping that narrative going. So I don't know what you consider ratchet behavior. I'm not saying that is what you're saying, ratchet Broadway lady. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Black Broadway lady. So please don't take that. But your comment kind of just reminded me of something that I was pondering. Just kind of scrolling through just some of the videos about, people trying to maximize on the clicks for this whole Carnival situation. And I never want to get clicks on the backs of Black people. And if it causes me to stay at 4,000 subs, I'm okay with that. But yeah, what is ratchet? I want to know. Because what I consider probably the ratchetest good time I had was on Virgin Voyages 5-day, baby. Whoo, had to blur that thing on out. But yeah, I guess we just all have different perspectives. Trisha's Sound of Travel says, I just did my free princess cruise, Diamond Princess in Japan. Oh, awesome. How many days was that, Trish? And thanks for sticking around, 46 people while I was on my Black Pride soapbox. Ken Hill says 143. Oh, love the wine. Yes. Sig says yes. It's so I missed the name. Let me go back. Who is the person that said there? Sean? Nope. Whoever mentioned looking for Valencia. Sorry, I'm saying your name wrong, Venecia. Explorer Journeys also offers all exclusive excursions, and the price is ticking up, but Explorer still has good access for getting on their ships. I think somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000 for all exclusive experience, which is good considering that a lot of times your premium lines are going to go for like almost 8 or 10K. So try to get on, yes, in Silver Sea. Thank you, Damian Quanda. Which is part of Royal Caribbean's network. And I realize I have status on Silver Sea because if you are in a Crown and Anchor member for Royal Caribbean, they match your status across all of the Royal Caribbean brands. So I apparently have 100-day Venetian or something. I have status on Silver Sea, so I have to take advantage of that one day. I have status on Celebrity, and I have status on, of course, Royal Caribbean, thanks to, I guess, I love their across the board status matching. So, Kelly says, yes, correct. They roll it over. Oh, so Kelly's talking about Virgin Voyages new check-in information. Virgin Voyages will roll all your information over once you enter it. So basically, you'll be on the app. She said it was there when I checked in back in April for my Greece cruise. So once you enter all your information on Royal Caribbean, you just got to enter it one and done, and it'll pop up in the new app. So if you have the old app like me, it's probably time for you to what is it called? Uninstall, reinstall your Virgin Voyages app. Yes, Damian Quanda, our celebrity reflection is the same time as y'all's Jamaica group trip. As soon as y'all announced that, I was like, what? We're on top of each other. It's so many trips to choose from. But hopefully we'll be traveling soon together. But I won't make Jamaica because it's right on the same dates. It's like a whole bunch of stuff going on the same time. It's y'all's group trip to Jamaica. So if y'all haven't hit, if you want a true Jamaican experience, and hello solo travelers, if you're scared to try a new country alone, Damian is the Jamaican. Quanda is from Turks and Caicos, but married to a Jamaican. And they are doing a group, put y'all dates in the chat. They're doing a group trip to Jamaica next year, June 2026. So if you're like, tired of cruising, you want a land-based experience, and you want an authentic Jamaican land-based experience, like where's the best food? They got some drivers. Their driver pulled up on them with a whole box of rice and peas, and was it oxtails in the to-go plate? They are the ones to do it. So if you want something beyond just being at the all-inclusive resort, hit up Damian and Quanda for their Jamaica cruise dates. But if you want to cruise, same time, June 22nd to 26th, 2026, come try Celebrity Cruise Lines with us. Sig says she is on it. Thank you. Sig is putting the Facebook group together. So look out if you have booked that already. We are less than a year away. And the information should be coming to you all so that you can prepare. It's not gonna be too, you don't got to do a whole bunch of outfits or anything like that. But it's gonna, when I say like we literally, me, Sig, and Jen Danielle sat one Saturday morning and just like curated a whole experience. It's gonna be good. Mel, so we're being on the same cruise on Friday. Cool, Mel on the move. I will see you Friday. I think I'm gonna wear my subscribe shirt, but the hair will be the same. It'll be braids. But I think I'm gonna have like a See It With C shirt on, I think. Or it'll be I don't know. But definitely on the first day, I'll probably have mask gear on. So hit me up via messenger. I think I'm gonna message a bunch of people who said that they were gonna be on that sailing. So maybe we can all get together. Hey, Carla G, welcome in. Desiree Getaway says, I know exactly what you mean when you say black versus ghetto. I hate that people associate ghetto with blacks. Yep, particularly because black people didn't create the word ghetto. Ta-da! Tracy Gary says, always good info. See you next time. Thanks for popping in, Tracy, and being here early. Appreciate you. Trisha's Thomas Adventure says it was a 10-day from Yokohama with 5 or 6 ports. Wow, that's a nice free cruise for sure. Damian Quanda's land-based trip to Jamaica is June 25th. Yep. So we're overlapping. And I was looking, I was like, can I get back to Fort Lauderdale and fly to Jamaica? But that might be pushing it. Yeah. Jerk pork, they had all the things. When I saw that vlog, I was just like, how do I have the experience where the driver pulls up on me and they got a plate full of stuff? Okay, so Black Broadway Lady describes ratchet behavior as fights breaking out and not wanting to comply with rules and regulations. That would be ratchet behavior. That would be ratchet behavior. But yeah, I mean, the only cruise line I've been on where a fight broke out was MSC. But yeah, I agree. Like, don't get on a ship, y'all, fighting people. Don't get in the terminal and think you off the ship and fighting people. You are still on federal property. But yeah, y'all, just in general, when you're on a ship, you know, if somebody bump you, because it's tight confines. Like if somebody bump you, you know, tell them excuse me. You know, try to give people a little more grace for sure. But I'll also get on, particularly like one thing I've left on Carnival's feedback card. Now the cruise line that I've been on, it was MSC Meraviglia and MSC Seashore. I hung out, went to sleep, woke up the next day, and the solo cruise was like, girl, did you hear there was a fight in the club? And there was a fight coming out the comedy club. I have not experienced that on Carnival, but I do know I've seen the video. Actually, I stopped watching the videos, particularly again. I am very in tune to, I just don't like things that seem to trend one way, that like it's just black folks on cruise ships fighting people. When we know it's just somehow miraculously we always end up on the videos. But anywho, but one thing I noticed though, it's the pizza line. And what are the two things? The pizza line, that sub line, sometimes Guys Burgers. It's about the food. So I told Carnival literally, I was like, yo, like I noticed it's a lot of those fights come out at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning in that dang on pizza line. And when I was on Carnival Sunshine, I saw that they put like a little line barricade, you know, in the pizza line. Now stop jumping in front of 50 people to get, you know, to your cousin who's in the front of the line, and you got 50 hungry drunk people behind you. It's not going to end well. Even if they got to do pizza line, like, you know, let's do numbers on in the sandwich line, because I see people skipping that too, where you got to pull numbers. Or I have noticed that they try to give more options late night so that people aren't standing in these lines. They're angry, they're drunk, they're hungry. So let's try to also, again, mitigate certain situations. Watch people, look at how people are responding. Because my guess is some of this stuff is not just happening because people want to get up and let's get ready to rumble. We also don't know what the backstories to a lot of these events are. But I find it very interesting that it's not just us, but we the ones that go viral. So yeah. But if the cruise lines do any mitigation strategies related to like holding seats, is one that I've seen. Folks don't talk about the, you know, the people of color, but holding seats was one that was a viral fight on, I can't remember what cruise line it was. Somebody was holding seats in the theater. Old boy was like, no, you're not. And they got to rumbling in the theater. So if we can just like mitigate some of those things, expectation setting, crowd control, those are all ways to do it. And like just be proactive, because some folks don't know. Some folks think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just throw these hands like I do in the streets. And it's like, that's not how that works. You will be banned forever from every line. Oh, but as a grown up, there's very few reasons why you should be like hitting people in general. But yeah. All right. Hey, C in chat. Hey, Jaretha, thanks for coming in. One day is okay. Oh, fly to Jamaica for one day. Listen, one day in Jamaica, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need like 2. See, Damien and Quanda. One broke out on Celebrity. I think Joseph Sykes, I think, had a video. Yes, it was not the black folks. It was a bar on Celebrity Edge on Alaska cruise that a pushing match broke out. It started with a fight. It was like they were arguing. It was escalating to a pushing match, and I think like some folks got into it or stopped. Like they got it before people were throwing blows. But the people involved were not people who were people of color, and you had a whole group of bloggers on that trip, and that didn't even go viral. So again, I just encourage you all to, you know, keep calm, think deeply, don't perpetuate the stereotype, and don't throw black people on the bus for clicks. Hey, Feeling D's Travel Spree, thanks for being here. Text is in the chat, deep. All right. So yes, it's CNC. Thanks for chatting with me. I'll probably go live on Friday when I get on the ship. So look out for that. I think I might go vertical because Celebration, or was it Conquest, just has that really, really good sail away party. And then stay tuned. We get to Celebration Key on the 20th. Yes, we get to Celebration Key on the 20th. So make sure you hit those notification bells, so I can give you all just a spin around Celebration Key, show you what it has to offer, and we can see is it talk? Are they ready? Get the real deal Holyfield from me. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can get that content. I am hoping, I think you all get a Carnival Magic recap from me. I'm hoping to get my Carnival Conquest vlog from March out this week. Pray for me. But yeah, if not, as soon as I'm done traveling, I have Disney Cruise Lines vlogs coming for you all. I have my Afro Nation vlog coming for you all. I'll have Carnival, what's this thing called? Celebration Key content coming for you all. And I have a really big trip announcement that I need to tell my channel members first. So once I tell my channel members, I will be announcing something major that you want to be locked in for. So stay tuned, y'all. All right, let's see if I can end on a happy comment. Oh, okay. Some more inside detail. Kelly, y'all should went viral with that video. Kelly says the guy was drunk. See, it's the alcohol. He was drunk and he went behind the bar. And that was on Celebrity Edge, and it wasn't people who were black. So drunk guy went behind the bar, just FYI. So yeah, it's something about that late night liquor. And we'll end on a positive comment. Feeling these travel says, Reese, so nice. Get plenty of footage for us. We'll do. We'll see. Thanks for traveling. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. And the next, wait, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop talking. The next Monday meetup, we'll probably be the 21st overview of Celebration Key. But if you're tired of catching me run my mouth on Mondays, you really want to be here on Monday, August 4th.